All right, what's going on, YouTube family? Welcome to the Jim of All Trades channel. Glad you made it by. My name's Jim. I'm a crypto trader and a Forex trader. Here to help you understand the market from an Elliott wave perspective. Guys, I'm not going to be able to do Sunday night charts tonight, but I'm not going to leave you out in the lurch. I'm going to tell you my thoughts as succinctly as possible in this video, and so that's what this is doing. I am currently getting ready to move back to Missouri, and I'm finishing up the work that I have for my customers, and I'm going to be tiling a shower all night long, finishing that thing up. So with that said, that's a little bit going on in my world. Let me tell you what I'm seeing in this wave structure. Don't forget, guys, don't mistake anything I say for financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, just a guy in this world who loves Elliott wave theory and applies it to the markets as he trades. So I'm going to share you what I'm thinking, okay? So I look at this wave structure. If you're new to the channel, I'm a wave structure analyst. I look at the waves, the shape of the waves, and I count fives and threes. And we try to understand what the market might do based on the wave shape, okay? So I'm looking at this wave, and I'm trying to interpret the waves. So that's what I'm doing here, okay? So you can study Elliott wave theory. It's an awesome rabbit hole to jump down if you've never done it. I'm looking at this wave, and I'm got maybe a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a potential 5. That's one way to potentially interpret the wave. That means we're finishing up the fifth wave. When I look at this final wave here, this fifth wave of the fifth, you see 5 waves developed potentially. So we can count them. We sorry, let me go back. You have a potential 5 waves here. We got you could say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we could call that the fifth of the fifth. Zooming back out just a little bit, just working our way through the count. We can count this as 1, 2. We're going to call all of this 3. That's 4, and we can call that 5. That's one concept. That's one way to think about that wave. I don't think that's my primary count, but that's a count. I like the 3 down here with the 4 there and the 5 here. I prefer that one, and that we have to reinterpret this wave as a flat potentially, where you have an A wave to here, and this is the B wave. It's a flat in and of itself, and looking for C. And C could have already begun, okay? And let me show you what I'm looking at here. I know we're pumping a little bit, but let me show you that wave structure just a little bit to keep in with that count. What this could be is a flat. A, this is B, and C. What they did is they extended the flat, it looks like. So we had a flat already, boom, 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 and we called that downward move. Last week I said there's a bearish structure, watch out. And we got that downward move. We saw it coming. But what they did is they came down in 3 waves. So we had the flat to the upside, boom, up. And then we had a 3 wave to the downside. Now we're looking at maybe 5 waves to the upside to finish a flat, which should, as long as this high gets respected and it's not broken, then we could expect a move to the downside. So watch out for that. That's a potential way to interpret this wave structure, okay? All right, so that's a bearish thing that I'm watching for based on the macro wave shape. I think that's a real plausible concept there. And this may have a little bit more in the tank, somewhere around 120 to 122 would be my guess. So let's see if we get that. It doesn't have to continue up. This could be potentially done as some kind of an ending diag, as a 5 wave. And if that's it, if that's an ending diag, you got ABC. It's finished. It's done. And we're just looking for a potential reversal. Maybe tonight at market open or the daily open. Now, that's just an idea. I don't know. I'm not here to tell you what's definitely going to happen, but that's one interpretation of the waves that I'm looking at. Okay, so we're going to interpret this as a B wave or a wave 2, wave 1, and this is a wave 2. Okay, looking for a wave 3 or a wave C. okay, which would take us down impulsively. So down would be the direction and impulse, if that's the way to interpret it. Okay, if this is a flat right there and this is A, B, and C, all right, then we're now impulsing to the upside, going up for the next, maybe to take the high out as an impulse. This was just a three-wave pullback with continuation. That's the bullish way to interpret this market. I know some of you probably noticed that Ethereum is pumping, and you say, well, what is Ethereum doing? It broke the high. Well, it's still, Ethereum has a potentially very corrective count we got to pay attention to here. So let's talk about it here. So we have this initial wave that's very cryptic and it's very odd shaped. It doesn't look like an impulse. It looks much more like a WXY or a complex correction, where you had three waves right there. There's your three-wave connector. And now we're going to actually call this three waves, ABC, and that's a WXY. That's three, okay? I think that's the proper way to interpret those waves. Then we had three down, three up, five down. There's a flat. That's a B wave. Okay. I was actually looking for this to come down deeper. It did not. Bummer. But then what do we have? We have a potential three waves back to the upside. This might have to pump a little bit more. Maybe, maybe not. It's taken this high already. But anyway, what that is just a double correction, potentially, expecting coming to retest the high, maybe even take that high out, expecting a dump. Potentially, I mean, if that interpretation is right, this could come down here as a large scale three-wave move. Okay, then we go to the moon. Okay, now not XRP, Ethereum might be going to the moon now. Okay, so that may not be the interpretation. I'm very bullish on Ethereum. I am a very bullish person on Ethereum, but what's happened here is that this is going straight up a little early. Usually when things go straight up, they need a largish correction if they're going to continue. So we need a largish correction if it's going to continue to the upside. Okay. So this may be an extended fifth wave. So another way to interpret this is that you got a 1, 2, 3. That's 4. That's an extended fifth. Looking for a three-wave pullback before we get continuation. So looking for a large correction that's going to resemble this wave right there. Okay. Or that count that I shared with you coming down here, okay, before we go to the moon. Okay, that's a possibility as well. So hard to say what that is, but those are two different ways of interpreting it. But I would guess that. One more interpretation here. If this is 3 and that's 3, we could get a three wave and then get another 3 like that. Okay. Now, if we get something like that, that could still take us down. Okay. Because that would be a W, X, and a Y looking for a downward move like that. But this would take a couple of years of price action. Okay. So, but that's another wave structure that I would consider paying attention to. That means that right now we're coming on the daily into an area where we've got divergence here. We got like a wave 4. Now we're getting a wave 5. We got divergence. We're overbought here in the daily. We have a finished looking wave structure as 3 waves. I think it's real possible that this indeed is some kind of correction and looking for a downward move. And that would correlate with the thoughts that I'm having here with Bitcoin, that, you know, looking for this thing to finish if it's not finished, but could be a flat, which would take us down again. So looking for a downward wave. So you've got to be at least ready for that scenario. Now, could this thing pump and just keep rocking? Yeah, it totally could pump and keep rocking. Is it going to? I'm not here to say which one it's going to do. I tend to be, I'm pretty bearish. I get bearish at tops like this. But, you know, and when I see wave structure that says, hey, this could be toppy, you know, just watch out for this kind of move on Ethereum where you get some kind of boom and then it goes up for 3 more like that. Maybe something like this, right? Something like that, where it comes down like so, boom, 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 and then it goes up, takes the high, and then comes down. That would be That would be structurally, that would make sense for Ethereum. But it's calling for a downward move first. Either corrective before we go to the moon, or this is a fake out and we come down. Grab liquidity before we go. So those are my thoughts, guys. What's going to happen? I'm not here to tell you what's definitely going to happen, but that's the way I'm looking at the wave structure. Those are the possibilities I see in the chart. It's up to you to gravitate to the one that you like and then trade that with good risk management. Okay, looking on the 3-day chart, we are pretty overbought here. We created divergence on the 3-day. We have double and triple divergence here. So this wave is fizzling out, in my opinion. It's probably not going to continue straight up, but it could totally pop off before it comes off. And that's another idea here, that this wave right here could just be coming to take the high and it pops off before coming down. So we're gonna have to see how this wave is gonna finish up. Just don't FOMO. Don't buy spot up here at the top, guys. We are going to go to 200,000, but just not before probably a largish correction back down to the downside. This wave structure seems to be, in my opinion, pointing to something coming. Now, could we get some kind of a wave that pops off here? Yeah, I think so. I've been calling for 145 for a while. 145 is still a target. Would I like this way? I mean, it could go, but I don't know. I don't have the answer. I warn you that watch out for the flat that I was telling you about. If we kind of pump tonight, watch out for a dump tomorrow. Okay, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Even if we kind of dump here and then pump, something like that. Watch out for that move, because I think that's potentially on the table. All right, those are my main thoughts, guys. Leave in the comments if there's any charts you want me to look at. I'll make a video following this, maybe on Monday or Tuesday, doing a request video. So if you leave a chart in the comments that you want me to take a peek at and give some analysis on, I'll do a follow-up video and do the analysis on those charts. So anyway, leave some comments there and let me know what you think. Hope you guys have a fantastic night. Thanks for stopping by the channel. As always, leave a like, maybe consider subscribing. And if you want to be part of an awesome community of traders, come on into the Gem of All Trades Discord. With that said, y'all have a great night. Bye-bye.